Welcome back to Maski Miller Learning with Maski TV and Teacher Tandy Grade 7. We are still here to assist you and make sure that you do these things processing well, I'm very sure. So we are today going to stick again with the whole numbers, but our focus today is going to be prime factorizations. I do believe that at this point you have already covered this thing with your teacher. Remember, Maski TV is there to intervene, assist and help you with anything that you might not understand or did not understand during the lesson with your teacher. Always remember that when we talk with prime factorizations, we deal with multiplication sign quite a lot. We're going to deal with the index form, which shows an exponential power form, as well with a to the exponent m. Remember that a is represented as base, as well as m is represented as an exponent, and the power is the whole sum that we deal with. So bear that in mind. Before the end or at the end of this lesson, you need to know and understand what is a prime factor or what is a prime number, as well as what is it that you do when you are factorizing, and then you define for yourself how to factorize, right? As well as distinguishing between different types of prime factorizations that you will have. So we're going to focus on two methods, right? One method is called ladder method, and the other one is called factor 3 method. So we're going to use these two methods for you to deal with your prime factorizations. Just a quick definitions here. With prime numbers, we need to remember that prime numbers are all the numbers that we have, whichever number that can be divided by itself as well as 1. So any number that you can divide by itself and 1. So most of this number, not all of them, but most of this number are the odd numbers like 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on and so on. But not numbers such as 15 and 21, and some which they still have some more things. Like 27 can be divided by 3, 27 can be divided by 9, so that is not a prime number. So the first prime number that we have is a 2, because 2 can only be divided by 2 and 1, right? Then we have these other numbers that are prime factorizations and many more. So while you test it, you divide it by any other number, you see that it's going to have a remainder, but you can divide by 1 and itself, that is called a prime number. What is to factorize, or what is factoring? So factoring is actually a process of writing a number as a product of something which you call multiplication. So if you write, for example, 2 multiplied by 3, that is what we talk about, factoring, and then that will give you, then a simple factor will be 2 and 3. So those are the numbers that we'll use. They are our prime numbers, and they also can be used as factors of something else. Then prime factorization is when you write any number that is multiplied by something else to get a prime number as well. So for example, if you're told to find the prime numbers or prime factorizations of 4, so prime factorization of 4, it is going to come up this way. If you say 4 divide by a prime factor, you start with the first one, which will be 2. So if you say 4 divide by 2, you know that is going to give you a 2. So that means that in a prime factorization, I'm going to have 2 and a 2 as my two prime factors for what? For 4. Or you can divide the 2 again by another 2, then you're going to get that as 1. So that means the prime factor for 4 is 2 and a 2, right? So if they say write down the prime factorizations of that, you know already that is going to be 2 and a 2, and that's how you deal with that portion, right? So let's do some example exercises here with the first method we spoke about, which is the ladder method. So the ladder method is actually just the method that you start from the top and then you go down just like that. There's steps that you must follow in every method that you do. So let's start with this particular one. If they say to you, write down the prime numbers or prime factorizations of 40. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your number 40. You first write that number 40 so we can create our ladder like that. You have your number 40, and then maybe we can put a line there. You have 40 and then you divide the 40 by 2. We can do it by the side. If I divide 40 by 2, which I'm writing it here, that will give me a 20, and that is what I'm writing there in the next one. If I have my 20, I can have now to divide it with what? With another prime number. So my prime number again, for as long as you can divide it by 2, you cannot move to the next prime number. So I'm going to divide 20 again by 2. So if I divide that by 2, it's going to give me 10. Then I have my 10 again. I divide that by 2. So if I'm dividing that by 2, it's going to give me 5. Then after I have 5, remember now 5, it cannot be divided by 3, which is another or the next prime number, but it can be divided by 5. So that's why I'm going to then have 5 divided by 5. So there is where the division of 5 comes in, and I have my answer as 1, where I cannot divide anymore. So this is how you actually go around your ladder method, and you have this. If they say to you, write down then the prime factorizations of 40, then you'll be able to then write them all. You're going to say it is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5. Multiply by 2 because we divided by 2 3 times. Let's see, we have divided by 2 3 times, 1 2 3, and then we have the 5. So you multiply that like that. This is the way to write it in a plain way, but you can write as an exponent. Remember that 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 is the same as 2 to the exponent 3. Then we multiply that by 5. So either way that they have told you to write, you can then write that, and that is the sum of 40. So it gives you the multiplication or the product of 40. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 gives you 40. And 2 to the exponent 3 times 5 also give you 40. So please bear that in mind, because it's very important for you to know and understand that part. All right. So those are the steps that you follow when you deal with ladder method. So I want you to just do this for like 2 seconds, and we're going to run it around. Use the ladder method to find the prime factorizations of the two numbers I've put there, 36 and 125, and I'll see you right back. All right, I'm sure this was not so difficult because we just did it now and you've done it at school. You should be able to do the same way that we have done. Just start with the first prime number and you go up until the end. So we're going to do the same thing here. We have our 36 and then we can just draw our tree there, which is our lambda, like that. And then we say we divide 36 by 2. If you divide 36 by 2, you should be able to find what? So if you do that, you will see that 36 divided by 2 is actually 18. And then you go on, you divide that by 2 again. You will see that will give you what? A 9, right? Then now you move. Can I divide 9 by 2? No. Remember the division says I cannot divide by this number and do not have a remainder, right? So if you divide 9 by 2, you're going to have 3 comma something something. So you have just more numbers like 4 comma something something, because 2 can go to 8 4 times. Then what happened to the 1? It's a challenge, right? So we'll leave that prime number. We go to the next prime number, which is, yes, 3. So we then divide that by 3. If I say 9 divided by 3, I will get 3. Then you can see that 3 can also be divided again by 3. If I divide 3 by 3, I will then get 1. So that's how you deal with your ladder for this particular one, and then you get your answer in that manner. So when you calculate that back, you're just going to say, I have 2 multiplied by 2 multiply by 3 and multiply by 3, and that's how I write my answer. Then you can see that is what we have done there, that 36 can actually be broken down with 2 to the exponent 2 multiply by 3 to the exponent 2, and that is how it's done. So this is the same as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, and you get your answer like that. So let's quickly do the one for 126. Right, so 126 as well, you do the same. Start with the first one, which the first one is 2. The first prime number. Your first prime number is 2. So if I divide that by 2, remember when you're dividing without a calculator, you just have to start dividing one thing at a time. So if I divide 6 by 2, I'm going to get 3. I divide 12 by 2, I'm going to get what? 6. So that should be my second number that I'll get, which is 63, right? So that's how you can quickly just divide without you having to look at anything. So divide that, and then you divide that, and you get your 6 and a 3, you put it down. All right. Then you can see that 63 cannot be divided by 2. Therefore, it means you're going to the next prime number, divide that by 3. As well here, you do the same. If I say 3, how many times will 3 go to 3? It will go 1. And how many times will go to 6? It will go 2. So that will be then 21, right? So I have my 21 there. Now I know that there's no way that 3 can go into 21. Then I move to the next prime number, which is 5. Can 5 go into 21? No. So that means I cannot use 5. Then I go to the next prime number, which is 7. And I know that 7 can go to 21. And in a certain many times, so how many times? Oh, 3 can go. Let's see. 3 seems like it can go, right? Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21. So it can go 7 times. So 3 can go. Let's put that. So 3 can go. That can go 7 times. And then now we pass 5, but then we use 7. That can do and 1. So until you get to 1, that's how you go. So it can go thing at time. So when you don't have a calculator, please do your counting and make sure that you count it properly like that, and don't make mistakes like Teacher Tandy just did now. Make sure that you look at it and you multiply together. So after that, you can take your 2, 3, 3, and 7, multiply them together for you to have your prime factorizations is 2 multiplied by 3 squared multiplied by 7. All of this should give you 126. And this is what you do when you are using this particular method. All right. This should be easy. Then our second method that I've spoken about is the tree-factor method. So the factor tree method is actually the one that you just use as a branch. So if perhaps we're using the numbers that we're talking about here, which I'll pull 1, you can see how the branch looks. So if you have 24, for example, what you do is you do the similar thing, but you say, what are the 2 numbers that I can multiply the 24, and then I get the answer? What are the 2 numbers that I can multiply the 24 and I get the answer? So if you do this, you can see that if I multiply 4 and a 6, I'll get 24. Some can say if I multiply 12 and a 2, it's still fine, because if you have 12 and 2, you can also still multiply them, and you can then branch the 2. So I'm going to show you the 2 ways of which factors we can use until you get to the answer. So if I multiply that, I know that I can still break the 4 to have it as 2 multiplied by 2. So this multiplied by 6 gives me 24. 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4. But again, if I have 6 here, if I break it like that, I'll have 3 multiplied by 2. So after here, there's nothing that I can do. I cannot break anything. I'll have to leave it like that. So therefore, I'll then write 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 as a prime factors. Right. So that's one. The other way might be if I have my 24, instead, because whatever 2 factors that comes to you is what you must use, right? So if yours was 2 and 12, you do the same. I have 2 and I have 12. Then you just make sure that you highlight the 2, because you need to use it. There's nothing else that you can do after that. Then you have to leave it like that, but know that that is your prime factor, right? Then you're going to come here into 12, and then you start breaking 12 up. So you have 2 multiplied by what to have 12? 2 multiplied by 6. Okay, so here again, you just mark up your 2, because that is your prime number. And then you go to 6, you do the same. You have your 2 multiplied by 3. Then you will see that you also have the 2 and the 3. So if you check this 2 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, it's exactly the same as the other one. So it's not restricted for you to only use 4 and 6. You can use any other factors for you to get to the answer, and then you know how to then get your prime factorizations like this. This one is for you to look at, and I am going to come back to you right after the break. All right, let's see if you managed to get this one right, because we're going to quickly just look at it and see how you have done it. Remember, when you are dealing with the tree factorization method, what you do is just focus on the 2 numbers that you believe that are factors, and then you break them down. Remember that you can start by 2 multiplied by something, or 3 multiplied by something, or any other way that you can get it right. Even if you start by saying 9 times 3 or 9 times 4 for you to get 36, you are still on the right track. So just make sure that when you do that, you do it properly, and then you split it until you get your prime factorizations. We then decided to use 2 and 18 because it's quite easier to start with 2. You know why? Because 2 is our first prime number. It makes it much easier if you do it like that, and then you will get your answer in this manner, right? So same applies to 28. When you use 28, you can just choose what to do, or you can start with 2, or you can choose 2 numbers that when you multiply them together, they are actually going to give you 28, and then that is how you actually have to find your prime factorizations. Easy, right? Yes, I thought so as well. So let's see, when you are there at home trying to make sure that you get this right, and make sure that you are actually learning how to deal with these 2 methods with or without any help. Looking at this video, you should be able to follow both methods and get it right. So here's your homework. Use both methods for you to find the prime factors, as well as for all these numbers, and make sure that you are able to share your answers so that we can be able to assist you further. Right, when you are busy on them and you feel like you get stuck, Maski is here to help you. Remember, our AI tutor, it's here to make sure that you are able to work independently and you can be able to learn for a particular purpose, which is for your learning. The number is 072 091 0388. If you don't have it as well, this is a might-have tutor. It's a must-have tutor. You need it because it will help you to understand and make sure that you do your math properly. And also, you can always come back to our YouTube, Maski TV, and make sure that you learn, get all the clarity of the misconception that you would have found in all the sessions. From me and Maski Miller Learning, we leave no one behind. And our next lesson, therefore, will be on highest common factor and lowest common multiple. See you next week. Bye.
And now we enter our next exciting chapter with the launch of Maskiverse, an inspiring trio of innovations, our AI-powered learning companion, captivating TV content, and a vibrant playground for interactive learning, and our own dedicated app, all coming together beautifully to deliver learning outcomes through technology.